guys, Lindy here.
Tsero.
And this is the pause area. Remember, we are your favorite aunties, money aunties. But we focus on all things finance. So please like, share, comment, and let us keep bringing you these videos. Today, Tsero and I were sitting and we started talking about many lessons that we learned from our parents. And the interesting aspect was the contrast between how we grew up, and what that sort of shapes our money behavior, our money personalities. And yeah, we just wanted to chat to you and come on here and have a conversation about what our money lessons are from our parents. And it could be the good stuff that they did or the things that they did not do, and then in reverse.
Yeah. So I think for me, the biggest thing that I saw my parents, like, they tried to build wealth in terms of they opened some shops, which means that they had a side hustle, but not small side hustle, like proper side hustle. So they had general dealer shops. They had 2 of them. And another thing, when it came to a house, so they bought a house in a
Upmarket.
That's the word. In an upmarket location where rates and taxes are.
Yeah.
But what was surprising for me, and I only learned it later on, that they actually paid off the house in like 5 years. And I'm like, but how?
Yeah, the bonds are like 20 years, 80 years.
So,
yeah.
But what I learned is that it was only through sacrifices. So you can imagine in an upmarket place and whatever, our friends had all these nice shoes. They had Jack Puzzle.
They
had Jack Puzzle shoes, and I had Jack Puzzles from Pep. And but so my mom also, I hated it, but I mean that's if that's what it took for her to save money. So she would buy us clothes from secondhand shops. So you can imagine. So that's how they managed to pay off the house. And at the end of the day, we were all happy. We were kids. I mean, yes, as kids, you want things, but you get over them.
Okay, but you're right. You get over. Now I'm not sure if I got over it. Like my mom used to punish me. Like, guys, there will be a season. Yadi, because like in boxing boots. Girl, you will not get it. Or skate is a V and a V shape, and then girl will go to and buy me quadro. You know quadro. And like, I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? I don't think I got over it, but yeah.
Yeah, so no knickerbockers for us.
Knickerbocker.
Second hand, and they also didn't buy like new cars for quite some time. Only after they paid it, because like guys, 5 years was nothing, honestly. Yeah. So I think that's one thing that I also that's my goal, to pay off now the house in 5 years, and just. Nice vibes. So I need to sacrifice. And we also, one thing that I don't really like is that we didn't go on vacations a lot. Like I think
like family time, family away, and you exploring things and seeing things. Yeah.
So that's what I don't like, and that's what I
sort of. Okay, but I suppose it's a reverse lesson to say you need to start saving for vacations. It's important for you to take your family and go away.
Yeah, because now looking at photos, I only have photos of us like,
in the back room holding on to a tree, and then they make you dress up in funny ways.
Yeah.
Look, for me, like I think I learned a lot of what not to do's, and I think those are a real challenge, because learning what not to do's needs you to actually be applying your mind to say, but I don't think what my parents did was good. So for me, the biggest thing was there was a lot of emphasis. We grew up in the township, and there's a lot of emphasis around stokvels, and those stokvels are not stokvels as we know them today and what we use. It was mostly around funeral stokvels, and it's not a funeral they're going to pay for the caskets and the burial costs. It was more around matsogo, yes, helping hands. And they come dressed in a certain uniform, and then every last Sunday they would go to one person's house, and then that person must cook, and then sometimes they would like sell food on that day, but look, the focus there was that this is money that we put in a bank account, and they were not even interested on are we putting it in an interesting banking account. No, it was not about the growth of the money. It was just about to save it, to have a secure place. And then sometimes it will be very tricky, and I think it still happens, and I'm laughing but I feel bad, but it will be so tricky that they trust you as oh, it's your turn that we give you money, and then suddenly you don't take money to the bank. You're like, we chill, and like, oh, and then the money and for me, I'm like, girl, you know. And although I'm laughing about it now, it was a challenge when death came, because you know things like death, they come unexpected. It's not even month end yet. There's no savings, and then suddenly we now need to go borrow money just for the
and that's
funeral.
the last thing you need, like, guys,
You know,
come on.
exactly.
And I think that's also the one thing. You'll see our previous video where we spoke about conversations with your family. I think that's also one of the conversations that you must have with your family. Guys, do you have a funeral cover or a life cover? Because you'll
and
see
it's
flames.
interesting that you talk about that. I mean, I'm sure, look, I love trash TV, or okay, do we call it trash TV or reality TV? Let me call it reality TV. And I watch a lot of Body Moja Love stuff, Boma Masala. And you know, when you go into that show, people come in to say, okay, someone died, my husband died, my mom died, and then you know, you don't even know if this person had a policy, you know, so you don't know how to claim, you don't know where this person worked. I think about me with my mom. I didn't know where my mom worked. I didn't know where my mom worked. I didn't know how much my mom made. And it's money conversations.
Money, eh? Low key.
You know, I actually hope that there's money, and then I can go to Bali with that money, or go to Diamond Walk and buy me. Okay. Maybe I would save that money. But honestly, it's like people don't have money conversation. And I think that's another thing that I learned in reverse with my mom, that we never spoke about money. And you know what, comment down below and tell us if, especially when it comes to relationships, your partner, your husband, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, do you know how much you each make? How is that conversation with money? Are you talking about money? Do you know what they make? So that when someone says, look, I don't have money, you know, you understand. Because I used to get frustrated with my mom when I come back and I see my friends wearing certain things. Or there was a time when I had a Game Boy. I think I also wanted a Game Boy.
Wanted a lot of things.
I wanted a lot of things, okay? And I still think I do till this day. But she would say, I don't have money. You know, what do you mean you don't have money, girl? I see you wake up, have a bag in under your pocket, and then you're gone, and then you come back, you don't have money. So I think, yeah, that's the lesson I would have wanted, you know, the lesson to have conversations about money.
Yeah, I think the one lesson that I also learned, my mom used to have this, you know, these small, they're like this small books like this. She had one black one, I remember. Every single month she will write down whatever her debit orders are, or maybe money for clothes she's gonna spend exactly 300 for all of us, or whatever that she could afford. And till this day, I still also do have, except it's not a book, it's an Excel.
Yeah. Yes, when I can.
And then so I make sure that even if I go out, I will see that, okay, I bought McDonald's or whatever, and it was 100 rand. I say minus 100. Now I have whatever, because it will trigger in my mind that, baby girl, you don't have that 5,000 that you had. Now you only left with 1,000 if you've got 20 days to go. Yeah. So that's one.
I think that's amazing. I mean, there's like 3 lessons I could think of in just one black book. She taught you budgeting. She taught you consistency, and she taught you discipline, because the discipline of saying, if I have 5,000, that's it, and this is what I had for going out. If it's gone, it's gone. So I think that's amazing. For me, the other lesson that I learned from my mom and not to do now was buying clothes cash, you know, or lay-bys. Okay, she did lay-bys, and I think that lay-by culture is still very popular. We did put out a video earlier. Please do check it on, you know, lay-by options, or stores that have lay-bys. But I feel like pretty much in South Africa, most shops have lay-by options, and the system works the same. So that she did. But I think she held on to cards, store cards. Like, you know, there were so many store cards. I think at the time Edgar's was even called Sales House. I think it was Sales House. It was not even Edgar's yet. There was store cards for everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. One day you pay this store account, next day you pay this other store account. And when you think about it, there are smarter ways of buying, you know, clothes. I think you said earlier on that your mom made you buy secondhand clothes.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, and with my mom then, she did not have a store account, like proper. Never store account. And then I remember when I went to varsity and I saw, you know, my friends, now they've got their nice what's it, Mr. Price money card or something like that.
Account.
How baby girls are just swiping. I remember I called my mom. I'm like, something's not right.
Yeah,
How come I don't have an account?
Yeah, it's like it's not like it discovered the solution.
I was like, people can buy with using a because I honestly did not know. And then she was like, "Have you ever seen me have a store card?" But then when I started working, I was like,
Started making sense.
No. I also want a store card. Yeah. And then I remember it was Jet.
Yeah.
And then I opened a Jet account, and then wow, it was 1,000, and I was like, I can't. I've got chest pain.
For me, I feel like it was actually a very important lesson for you to have because I still fell into that trap. I mean, when I started working, I went to Truworths. Truworths was the easiest for me to get a store account. I got a store account.
Give you 1,000 rand.
Hey, yes. And then I went to Edgar's because Edgar's had many stores. So one card, whereas with Truworths, you could only shop at Truworths before. And then I think the other people that have this is the Fushini group, where you go to Fushini, it's linked to Markans at Home and many others. And then Edgar's was linked to Jet. And I think at the time, the thing that really attracted me was Legit, because Legit was still part of Edgar's. Yeah. So I got that account. And the biggest mistake I did was people knew that I have an account. And then there was a time where this other guy friend of mine, Collocation, and said, "Hey, Mlindos, please," they used to call me Mlindos, those back in the days. And he was like, "No, there are these All-Stars that I want. Can you please take them with your account and then I'll pay you?" It's like, yeah, shop. I mean, I see him like a brother till this day. I mean, I love him. He's like a brother. But I did that for him. I took the All-Stars. They were like 700. He paid for 2 months, and then suddenly the debt is undermining, and I need to pay. But I think the whole thing that I had to learn was not to have the store account in place. You know, if I need something, because I remember I ended up taking a phone, got Edgar's with the store account, because they started selling phones, and
next thing it's like 10,000 that you owe,
and then they call you, because I think I started with a credit of 2.5, and then they keep calling, you've been paying well, let's increase it. I'm like, because they do it telephonically, you're not even paying attention, or they're calling you and you're in the bathroom, and like, because you're trying to end the call very quickly, and then suddenly when you go into store, you like have now this money, and I'm like, it was really a trap. It was because I paid for it a long time. So there was that. And then I think the other biggest, conversation, or money lessons from, I'd say parents, but I think older generation now, just to generalize, I think it's just the issue around, and I see this with Mama Zala a lot. I think the older generation does not talk about important policies, okay? Like someone, that whole thing of, okay, my husband died, and I think we see this a lot lately, Koma Mazala, which is a show on Moja Love, but you see it a lot where someone comes and say, my husband passed on. You don't know, they didn't have a will, they never put a will together. I mean, even if you have one cup, you've got a cup or you got a spoon, I think it's enough to warrant you to have a will. And many companies offer wills for free. And then they don't speak about, okay, I've got policies, I've got policies there for funeral cover. Do you even have that? Exactly. How do you claim? Because you'll see people running around, family wanting letter of authority, the other uncle holding on to death, and then they'll be like, we don't even recognize you as a wife. But when you were there, it was nice and good. It was a good relationship. And I think older generations still have that issue of, I don't know if they're afraid that if they tell you that there's money, you will want to kill them. I don't know. But I think it's a money lesson that I feel like your immediate family should at least know your affairs.
even like when you said you didn't know where your mom works, it's very important that if you are employed and you do receive company benefits, please just share with them your member booklet. It will state everything. That okay, you're covered
do we
for
even know what the
what.
member booklet is?
We'll do a video about that because it's very, very important, guys. And you know, as parents or as older people, you need to be very aware about what you do because they will affect your children or your nieces, your nephews, and so forth. So let's just be aware and try to teach them the right things. We don't only rely on the teachers to teach them.
Yeah, and I don't think schools really go deep into teaching, you know, financial literacy. Okay, they call it financial literacy. I think it's there, but I think everyday money conversations they don't have. And you know that thing of employee benefits. I think it's a very big conversation. Hey, I think it's a very big conversation because you even see it on I Blew It, which sorry guys, I think at this point you already see where my the type of things that I watch. But for me, those are money lessons, honestly, because you see I Blew It and someone comes and say, okay, my parents died, they left this money from work, which is awesome, like it's like R1 million, but I never learned about money, and then suddenly I've got 1 million, and then poof, it's gone. And like I think parents should sort of have good intentions when they set up life cover. And for me, that is the other thing with my mom. There was more emphasis on funeral cover or funeral planning than there was life cover. Because I mean, if you're ready to put 300 rand in a stock fund for funerals, you can put the same 300 rand for life cover and get, you know, give your children like R1 million or more money that they can actually use for school fees and things like that. But I think parents don't do that. Parents think, okay, because that thing is set up, but how do you know that when you pass on, your children are not going to blow that money? And it's actually very sad. You know, it's funny sometimes when you watch it and then people are like, yeah, Nicolema giver. But the reality is that money was meant to help you, you know, set out your life.
Yeah, I think, let's just be aware of what we're doing. Set a good example, guys. And then if you need help financially to sort it out, please seek help. Like there's always help.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode, and we apologize that I think today we went a little over time based on our ordinary video. But yeah, please, I think this is another opportunity for us to engage with you. Let us know if you want longer videos or should we have a mixture of long videos and short videos, and we'll try and get that for you. Thank you. Bye.